What happens when an investor dies, leaving mutual funds without nominations? That's our topic for discussion today in the Market Secrets Investment Series. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that we at Market Secrets have recently launched Algo Traders Program ATP. If you are someone who is interested in learning end-to-end algo trading, then you can consider joining our ATP program. I'll leave the link to it in the description section of this video. And with that note, let's jump into today's session on what happens when an investor dies, leaving mutual funds without nominations. So before we start with the scenario, right, we are going to make few assumptions. Okay, there's just only one investor, so it's not a joint account, it's a sole holders account. Okay, that's the first assumption. And second one, there are no nominees. And third, mutual funds are being held in non-demat form, so your holdings are not in the demat account. Okay, so these are the basic assumptions, and with that assumptions, now let's look at what are the documents that we would need to claim this particular amount. First one, investors death certificate, so that's self-explanatory. And claimant, this is nothing but you. I mean, if you are going to claim that particular amount, right, you need to submit your PAN card, and you need to submit your KYC document, and you need to submit your cancelled check leaf, and you need to submit your signature, which needs to be attested by notary public. And you need individual affidavits by all the legal heirs. So if an investor dies, right, and he doesn't have any nomination, so first thing we need to look at it, who are his legal heirs. So we need to get the legal heir certificate, and we need to get individual affidavits by each of those legal heirs. For example, if that investor has a wife and two kids, right, so three of them will be legal heirs, right? So in that case, right, so we need to get individual affidavit from all three of them. Okay, even if you are going to claim it, we need to get individual affidavit from all three of them. In addition to the affidavit, they also need to give bond of indemnity. For example, right, that particular person might have another wife which no one knows of, and that wife might have one or two children. And if you get an illegal legal care certificate, and if you claim these mutual funds, and if at a later date, right, if the other wife and their kids go to court, right, in that case, what will happen is like mutual fund will be held responsible. To avoid that, they will ask for this indemnity bond. If something like that happens, you should take responsibility and settle it. That is what this bond of indemnity is all about. So mutual fund is passing on that particular responsibility to you, who is the claimant. And in addition to that, you need to submit any one of these documents, that is probated will or succession certificate or court decree. So either one of these three is mandatory, because this will give the list of legal heirs and who has claim to this particular investment. I mean, if the person had created a will and mentioned someone's name, right, by default they can claim it. Or in case they don't have a will and the heirs get the succession certificate either from the revenue department or from the court. I mean, if you did it directly, right, that will become succession certificate. In some cases, right, you need to go first get a court decree, and using that you need to get a succession certificate. In all those cases, right, these two items will by default list the list of legal heirs. So that's why any one of these documents are mandatory, because that way these documents will tell the mutual fund that the money is being paid to the right person. So these are the list of documents that you need to provide in case if the investor dies without any nomination. So this is why I generally say always do the nomination, because if you don't, the process to claim the amount become extremely complicated. Okay, if you have a nominee, it's much easier. So just keep that in mind. And now, what is the process? Okay, what is the application submission process? So once you have all these documents that I have listed, right, now you need to take the printout of form 3. You can just google it, form mutual funds form 3, and you need to fill and sign it, and you need to submit it to the fund house. And if the investor had invested in multiple fund houses, right, for example Kotak or HDFC or any such mutual fund, UTI, Navi, whatever it is, if he had invested in multiple fund houses, you need to fill separate form for each of those fund houses. And where should you submit these forms? You can go to any mutual fund service center like CAMS and Carvi, and you can submit the physical form there. Okay, it's almost available in all the cities, so you can just google mutual fund service centers and you will get to know where it is in your locality. You can go there and submit these forms. So that's the general application process. And now, what are the responsibilities? So once the mutual fund settlement is done, the claimant, right? I mean, if you are claiming that mutual fund units, right, you can redeem those units anytime. I mean, once the mutual fund is transferred to you, you can redeem it anytime. And lastly, if the claimant is not the legal heir, then the claimant will remain liable to the legal heirs of the deceased holder. For example, right, in the earlier scenario, I mentioned that that particular investor might have wife and two kids. In that case, right, they go to a lawyer to claim this amount or to help claim this amount, and lawyer gets indemnity bond and affidavit from all three of them and submits a claim and gets the money. Even in that case, he is liable to transfer these units back to the legal heirs. Okay, so he cannot just blindly get to keep it. So this is how a settlement process happens when an investor dies, leaving the mutual funds without any nominations in the non-demat form. And with that, we've come to end of today's episode. If you have any queries, comments, or feedback about this episode, let me know in the comment section. Also, hit the like button if you have liked this video and share it with your friends if you find it useful. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video or conduct a live session. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.